Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM alongside my broadcast colleague.
Hey, it's Eric Cornish with 99.5 WKDQ, and if the WWE Network has not proven anything else, it's that you can watch it from your phone in a cab and still get to the arena in time to thwart your enemy.
You know what's funny is I heard his cab fare was actually $9.99.
How about that?
So
Way to go, Dean Ambrose.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I heard, and that's why he didn't pay it.
Yeah, very cool.
But
yeah, Night of Champions last night. A lot of backlash. If you're on social media looking at the comments online, not a lot of people liked the end of it last night.
I didn't like much of anything about it, to be honest with you. It wasn't an awful show, but it was. First of all, it's probably the worst one in the WWE Network era.
I'd say so.
This is an example of probably a show that wasn't necessary. I feel like they have this unwritten rule that they have to have the 12 super shows every year. Mm-hmm. I think that's still, even in today's day and age, a bit much. I think you can get by with maybe like 8 or so, but...
Well, especially with 3 hours of Raw every week.
I know.
Mean, you could make Raw better and eliminate some of these. And that might be one thing that TNA's kind of doing right, honestly.
Well, I have to tell you, I don't want to watch 3 hours of Raw tonight. I felt like I watched one last night. You know, it's the Raws are longer than the pay-per-views.
I liked how they focused on the titles and the lineage of the titles, but I felt like they should have done that leading up to the pay-per-view.
Well, they did it, but they half-assed it, if you ask me. Just showing a graphic for 5 seconds before the match starts of who previously held the title it's phoning it in, if you ask me.
Right.
Not a lot jumped out at me. A lot of our predictions were way off. Which
I would say I think I got 1 right. You might have got 2 right.
Yeah, something like that.
And the only thing that may have come close was in the main event, how we talked about Seth Rollins being involved.
Yeah.
But again, it was all wrong. Let's talk about the main event real quick, because I think a lot of people were upset that it ended in a disqualification. I'm not, because that's kind of what we both kind of predicted, that might be the way that it was going. That's not what I'm upset about, and I think you're kind of on the same wavelength as me, is that I'm kind of confused as to why John Cena jumps in and thwarts Seth Rollins when they've had this hot feud with Dean Ambrose, and I feel like that's why they kicked him out of the building earlier, so he wouldn't be involved in that. But Stone Cold came back from all kinds of different things, and it's funny that I keep mentioning Stone Cold because I've said this over and over again how much Dean Ambrose reminds me of Steve Austin.
I felt like you're right. Cena should have been out once Seth Rollins appeared, and Dean Ambrose should have been the guy to thwart him. Yeah. Also, I felt like the match was wrong. I felt like Cena should have come off looking stronger, more aggressive, and more violent. I felt like it wasn't the right match. He didn't... Well, he looks obviously much stronger than he did at SummerSlam. This was for him to go nuts on Lesnar. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what should have happened. That's what would get people excited for Hell in a Cell, which I assume they're going to be put into next month. This didn't do that for me. Now, we saw Lesnar as super aggressive. Then we saw Cena, and I thought like he should have been that super aggressive type.
Now, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on that, because I do think it came off good, because after we saw Monday night, Cena refusing to be that monster that Paul Heyman, Paul Heyman still didn't get his way because Cena got the upper hand on Brock being Cena.
Okay, I see your point.
He did what Cena does, and he, with the his moves, the AA and the STF.
Okay, you make a good point.
Cena got over on Brock by being Cena and not abandoning the hustle, loyalty, and respect, which Heyman wanted him to do, and I think
I didn't think about it like that. I guess
that's so. There's no blurred lines here. Cena is still Cena. He's not turning heel. He's not and so. I could live with that. I still don't necessarily like it, but I can live with that. And now you've got a non-finish where Brock still looks strong, Cena looks strong too. So now we have to finish this off in a Hell in a Cell. Okay, but the fact that Dean Ambrose was not involved in this finish, if this is setting up for a Cena and Rollins feud, I think that's wrong, because Ambrose is hot and has this hot feud with Rollins.
Well, I imagine that things are getting rewritten on the fly with what happened with Roman Reigns this weekend. So I bet you that even they might not be sure where they're going.
True,
right
but
now.
I have a feeling this finish was booked already.
Okay, you could be right.
I think it was. But other than that, I mean, a lot of weird title changes. Let's talk about the Divas thing, because that bothered me the more I thought about it more than anything, because why even have Nikki Bella involved in this match if Brie doesn't come out, the Authority's not involved, and the finish ends up with AJ taking the title back again from Paige? Why even have Nikki in it?
The one thing my one thought about that match was that it was going to elevate Nikki and Brie's feud, and it didn't. And now you mention it, you're right. Like, it was just kind of extra. Yeah.
And Brie's promo ahead of time didn't really feel natural, and it kind of felt almost heelish. And if they don't fix this, they're going to end up with Brie coming off as a heel here.
You had a hard time with Rusev and Henry. You didn't care for that, correct?
That I had, yeah. I felt like that was booked all wrong. I mean, especially with Henry at the beginning. I mean, I put more heat on Rusev, but the way that they built up Henry at the beginning, I even said, there's no way Henry loses this match now.
I feel like that was the right thing to do. I felt like it was the hard move, because usually you're right. When they really put the focus on America and he's like the rah-rah representing the USA guy, usually he will come out on top. I think that they've been doing such a great job booking Rusev as a heel, and this is just like a great way to just put the exclamation point on it.
Sure.
To me.
Sure.
I liked it. I like Rusev.
Yeah, okay. And he's impressed. I think this was the least of his outings, but he did okay.
It was memorable, I think.
Yeah. So, but anyway, a lot of stuff that we didn't expect. So, is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. It's weird.
Give the show a letter grade.
I would definitely give it a C, and that is being generous.
I was gonna say a D+. I was kind of bored the entire time. Nothing was really gripping me. Nothing all that memorable. This could have been a Raw.
Yeah, well, and the only match that could have really, really been good, and that's The Miz and Ziggler. I mean, they put more focus on Florida Georgia Line, and, I like those guys, but in that match, I don't think it was necessary. And honestly, one of the best matches of the night was the match that didn't mean anything, and that was Orton and Jericho.
Yeah, that was probably the best match of the night.
So, anyway, I'd like to know what everybody else thought.
Yeah, are we off? Maybe you love the show. Let us know.
Certainly would like to hear from you. And,
we have our emails on the bottom there, and of course, if you want to reach us, you can check those out and send us what your thoughts on the show. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channels as well. Just click the red subscribe button, and you should be in business.
That's right, and also you can tweet us at VETalent on Twitter. So thanks for joining us again, and have a wonderful week.
Come and take your best